What is going on, guys? I hope you are all well. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we in the DTG Academy took these trades this week from the DTG system and how you can potentially take them, because I'm going to break it down step by step, every confluence entry that you need to know to start taking these trades with us yourself if you want to. So stick around. It's going to be a good video. But first of all, I just want to say, if you're not understanding of any of these concepts, how I find liquidity, retracements, divergence, my entries, everything like this, do not worry. You will learn everything within the DTG Academy pretty much as soon as you join, when you join. And so if you're feeling confused, uncertain, worried, scared, whatever you might be feeling right now or during this video, do not worry. It's normal. You will understand it when you come and join us. But first of all, let's start on Monday, right? I want to say that on Monday, there was a beautiful, perfect DTG system set up here with a 30-minute buy signal, aligning with bias, aligning with confluence. And if I have a look, if we have a look over here real quick at the entry, we can see that, well, I need to turn on the signals. Boom, 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 right there. We can see that coming in here, we have a neutral bias, right? If we have a look in the top right, we have a neutral bias, which is fine because it means we can look at the buys or we can look at the sells based on the current market structure, as you can see overall, or short term or long term. But what you might be thinking, well, that's a very easy thing to do. Like anybody could just say you can look for buys or sells, but it's what happens next. It's the next step, right? First, we identify a bias, and that can be from structure, that can be from candle closures, that can be from different time frames, right? But basically, we want to come to a conclusion on a clear direction aligning with clear bias. And in this instance, right, we can see we're on the 30-minute time frame because this was a 30-minute buy signal. We have a lot of rejection here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rejections of this AOI level. Now, AOI level stands for area of interest, and this is plotted automatically by the DTG indicator. If I turn it on right here, you can see AOI levels, right? These are our key levels that we like to use to trade and find entries as well. But in this instance, price was rejecting it heavily. And then we also have the daily opening gap right here, which was also the weekly market opening gap. And we're finding resistance here. So we're bouncing between these two levels, boom, 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 consolidation. And then we have a break. Okay, so we got a clear rejection and we have a break of the opening day gap. And if I look in the DTG database, from the 14th, I think, 30-minute signal, there was also divergence, AY rejection, AY break. Sorry, something in my throat right now. There was also a 12-hour divergence, which if we want to look at that, I'm going to turn on the 12-hour overlay right here. And we can see that's the wrong one. 12-hour is right here. We can see that previous 12-hour low is right here. Okay. And we do not break this low on the chart. We do not break it. Okay. We did not break that low. But if we have a look at that 12-hour low on the divergence on the RSI right here, we can see that during this move to the downside and this rejection, we actually break that low. Okay, this is what I like to call external divergence. And you'll learn all about this within the DTG Academy. Do not worry. But basically, we do not break the low here on the chart, but we do here on the RSI. And we see that reaction right there. So that was another point of confluence, as well as breaking the daily opening gap, right? Breaking the resistance that we are currently finding right here. Then that led to a 30-minute buy signal. As we can see right here. Once we break the highs, we push up. You can see entry, stop loss, take profit 1, take profit 2. Okay. Price absolutely flies to the upside there. Hits 1 to 2 for 100 pips. Beautiful trade. Straight into our next AOI key level right there. Boom. Okay. From 1 to 2, from A to B. Right. Rejection of one to rejection of the other. And at that point, there was also then we grabbed liquidity from the highs over here. We grab bearish liquidity above these highs. Boom. You know what? Let me go to the database because you're going to be able to see this setup, right? You can see right here, break even, neutral bias again, but we had a lot of bearish confluence and we had an AY break and tap. Let me just open that chart right here. Why is it highlighted? Right here, you can see this was the break even trade. Grab bearish liquidity from the ES, LS, FLS. This is our bearish liquidity concepts. Again, you'll learn about these within the academy. And then we started selling off. There was also, again, divergence. If we have a look down here on the actual chart, we can see that on the candles, we broke those highs. But on the RSI, we did not break those highs. So there's divergence. There is bearish liquidity. And there was a key break and tap of AY level for that sell-off right there. Again, break-even trade. On that one. So that was a break even and a win on that day, right? So 2% gain. Moving over then until the next day, we had a beautiful 15-minute sell signal aligning with bias. I'll show you that real quick on the chart. Let me just fast forward. Boom, 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 boom. Price retraces into our key level. You can see right here for this day. Let me turn off this. For this day, we had this key level. Now, again, you're going to learn all about these key levels. Do not worry. We retrace into a key level, and we're also getting external and internal divergence at this level, okay? If I turn on the RSI, we can see on the chart, we did not come up here and spike these highs. These are the highs right here. But we came up and we spiked these highs on the RSI. So this is external divergence. And then we have internal divergence because we have price here on the chart trending to the upside, creating higher highs. But on the RSI, it's actually creating lower highs, okay? So we have external, internal divergence. Again, don't worry, you'll learn about this in the academy, as well as a key zone. This is from the daily time frame that price is rejecting. And then from there, we start to see a sell-off. The setup for this was 14th, 15th right here, I believe. Yep. We have a bearish bias. We have a clear bearish bias for this setup. As we can see, if we turn on the DTG indicator, once we tick over into there, we can see bearish bias. Price comes down, sells off there from that level, retraces. We also get a break and a rejection of the AOI. Price sells off. 15-minute sell signal, 1 to 2, 100 pips. Beautiful. That's that trade right there. You can see it was a signal and an IBO entry, meaning this we have 3 entry models in the DTG Academy, in the DTG system. A trending model, which is the signals, a breakout model, which is the IBOs, and a AOI break and tap, which is a break and retest model. So this was a trending model and a breakout model aligning for 2 entry models in one. Beautiful. That was a 2% gain. About 110, 112 pips profit. Here's the confluence that we have on that trade. Moving on then, there was a loss the next day, the 16th over here. 0.5% loss. So there's a 2% gain, 2% gain, and a 0.5% loss, right? So you can see at this point in the week, we are about 3.5% gain from all trades, which is great. Basically, clear. There was a neutral bias for this, but there was some confluence for this trade. Where is it? This loss right here is our confluence. So we had, we did have some clear bullish confluence aligning with a neutral bias, a 15-minute buy signal for entry. Again, this was a loss, this trade right here, which is fine. You're going to incur losses, right? This was on PPI day, just after CPI. So it is what it is. But what happened basically, we had a lot of confluence here. Key rejection of some key zones, divergence, break of some key levels and things like that. Moving on to the next day, that was also a loss. This was during Friday. There was no trades on Thursday. Very choppy Thursday. We did have a movement down, but overall, no clear setups. On Friday, we had a loss right here. This ended up being a 0.5% loss as well, because managed trade here with the DTG system trade management techniques, as you can see down here, trade management, IPV, DDV. These are our trade management techniques, which enabled us to get out of this trade a 0.5% loss and not a full 1% loss, same as the trade over here. We managed that trade, 0.5% loss, not the full loss, right? So the initial stop loss for this trade was down here. We ended up taking a half loss on that. Same thing here. We moved, we closed half position right here as it came back up to break even. And this was done in the Discord live as well. So then later on, 30-minute break and tap. This was another trending, beautiful trending entry. Clear bullish bias, mid window, on gold, confluence, AOI rejection, and break. AOI and 15-minute, AOI and signal confluence. So again, 2 entries aligning for that that trade right there. Risking 1% to make 2%. And that was the setup. And basically, this is from the 30-minute time frame. You can see we have our key AOI levels on the chart. This is these levels right here. These are AOI levels. Boom, 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 boom. What happened is we opened up for the mid window. We pulled back. We rejected one AOI level, rejected another. So we were bouncing between these two key levels. These are plotted automatically by the indicator, by the way. So don't worry about plotting these levels. You will learn how to plot them, but it's not necessary. And basically, we reject this key level. We break above this key level. We break it right here. We close above and we tap. So this is our break and retest entry model. Once we break the highs there, price starts flying. This is also a 15-minute buy signal as well, as you can see right here. Which again, if I show you the Discord now and move over to the Discord, we can see that, members are also taking these setups, not just me. They're very clear. You can see right here, this was yesterday. This was this exact trade right here. 15-minute, 30-minute signal with a 30-minute AOI break and tap. This is your AOI break and tap right here with a 30-minute signal right there. And Vlad actually ended up the week. Sorry, not general. Where are we? VIP chat. Vlad actually ended up the week another plus week, right? This is his, I believe, his 5th consecutive profitable week using the DTG system, right? 6th profitable week in a row. Okay. So, just lock in with the system. Sorry, guys. Lock in with the system. But you can see right here the results from members. Clear as day, right? Some losses, but followed the system, made back those losses, ended up the day in profit. You either win or you learn. It's a beautiful mindset right here. You win or you learn. Some other setups, 4 hour with 2 hour signal confluence, 15-minute buy signal, 15-minute buy signal, so on and so forth. But that is it. That's the weekly review. I don't want to make this video too long. I want to keep it nice and short. But what I want to show you basically is take a look at the levels real quick before we end this, right? The levels here, very, very precise, very, very key. Over here, we have our daily key level model, right? Price retraces, rejects, also divergence in here, and price sells off. Massive sell off there from that key level. Then we come down, we tap into our overall key level for the week right here, right? Rejection, liquidity, move up, divergence, liquidity, another move up, right? Then we move into our bearish liquidity from over here in this level, right? Grab bearish liquidity, we sell off, right? These yellow levels are liquidity on the chart where I'm looking at price grabbing liquidity. Here it's bearish liquidity. Here it's bullish liquidity. We grab that bullish liquidity, we move up. We grab bearish liquidity, we move down. Again, we grab bullish liquidity here, as well as, again, tapping into this key zone, this overall key zone, as well as divergence. A lot of divergence here if we have a look. Right here. Let me go to the 15, sorry. Right here, this point in the market, we break it on the chart, but we don't break it on the RSI, right? So divergence, weekly level, bullish liquidity levels right here. We grab that and we come back to the upside, right? Now there is bearish liquidity over here. We did grab it momentarily and sell off, but then we pushed up and sold off again. So, just look at the precision of these levels. Just absolute precision. If you want to learn how we find these levels, it's all very clear. It's all very simple. It's not difficult at all. Anybody, you can join and with minimum experience and understand these concepts pretty quickly. All right. If you want to, come and join us in the DTG Academy. The link will be below, or it'll be above here at the start of the video somewhere. There should be a little text where you can click. But that's it, man. That's the system. So overall, 3 wins, 2 losses, and a break even, 2 break evens, no, 1 break even, and an overall gain for the week, 5%, right? Because we have, if we go to the calendar, right here, we have a break even and a 2% win. A 2% win, that's 4%. Another 2% win over here, that's 6%, minus the 0.5, which makes it 1%, would be around about 5% gain for the week using the DTG system during a choppy week with CPI, with PPI, with tariff talks, with Trump, Jerome Powell, pressure, talks and reports of Trump firing him or him stepping down, which is massive news for the US. So for all that noise, for all that chop, we still came out on top using the system. As long as you show up, you're disciplined, you're consistent, you're dedicated, you are, you follow the system. It's very simple to follow. You will come out on top, just like our members have for the week. 5 weeks in a row, profitable consistently, using the system. So that's what it is, man. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, sub to the YouTube channel. We're on the road to 5K. I think we're almost there. So get us up to 5K. I would very much appreciate it. Leave your comments down below if you have any questions. I'll be sure to answer them as soon as possible. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. And let's get it. Let's go again on Monday.